Can you?
Okay.
Wonderful.
Very good. Yes, I would like to tell you about taxation in Germany of employee programs. There is some good news in Germany. There is now a new law act on its way. It's called the Zukunftsfinanzierungsgesetz, which will offer some more tax benefits if you implement an employee program in Germany. So far, you have two possibilities. I start here with explaining the two current instruments for tax benefits if you implement a employee scheme in Germany. At the moment, you can either get a tax-free allowance of 1,440 euro if the employer grants shares to its employees under certain conditions. So it's only a minimal or a minimum tax benefit. You don't have to pay tax on these 1,440 tax benefit in kind you receive. And the second tax instrument is a deferral, tax deferral under Section 19A. If under certain conditions an employer grants shares to its employees, the taxation can be postponed for 12 years, and the taxation of the shares and the shares received for a lower price can be deferred for 12 years. If an employer sells the shares for the fair market value, there's no taxation, of course. This is the current situation. And now we have a new legislation on its way, the Zukunftsfinanzierungsgesetz, which was the German parliament consented in November on 17th to this new law. And it is planned that the German Bundesrat, the Federal Council, shall consent on 15th of December this year to this new law. And if this happens, then this new law will come into effect 1st January 2024. And what is the content of the new law? We still have these two tax benefit or tax allowance schemes. And in the first one, if you get a tax allowance, it's not at the moment, it's not only 1,044 euros, which are tax-free. It's 5,000 euro, which are tax-free. Meaning, if you grant shares to your employees and sell them to them at a reduced price, or you give them free to them in the amount of 5,000 euros, this can be tax-free. So the employee do not have to pay income tax on it. Of course, you need to meet certain conditions, but this means that the current allowance will be now in future 3 times as high as it used to be. And the second tax benefit is the tax deferral, which is now regulated in Section 19A, German Income Tax Act, and it will also be improved. In future, the tax deferral can be up to 20 years. So if an employer grants shares to its employees, under certain conditions, taxation can be postponed for 20 years. For example, if he sells shares at a reduced price to the employees or gives them for free, in the year the employee receives such shares, the employee does not have to pay income tax. This solves the situation of dry income, because if as an employee you receive shares, you don't have any extra money to pay for the taxes. So this is an improvement under the new law. this is, in this table, I show you for the tax deferral under Section 19A, the status quo on the left side and what is the new rule on the right side. This tax deferral in future applies for employers less than 1,000 employees. And currently, it only applies to employers with less than 250 employees, which means this tax deferral rule will in future apply to many more employers as it now does. And also, this rule applies in the future for companies which are aged less than 20 years, meaning they were established before less than 20 years. And currently, it only applies for younger companies, for younger employees, which are of the age of less than 12 years, which were established less than 12 years ago. So you see that the new tax deferral rule will apply to a lot more employers and will grant a much longer tax deferral to the employees. So it's much more attractive for taxpayers. The reason behind this is, of course, the promotion of employee share ownership, because in Germany, in this regard, we are not top of the class. We are other countries grant much better tax benefits, so this shall be changed. It means the new rule shall bring a gradual alignment with international standards, and also shall solve the give a solution for dry income situation. But as I said, the new rule is not fixed yet. It still needs to be consented to by the German Federal Council, but this we will know in December. And we expect that the Bundesrat, the Federal Council, will consent. So as of January next year, we have much more attractive tax benefits if employers implement employment or a share scheme for their employees.